Did the Ice Isle POI actually ruin the shark? Now, the Ice Isle, along with everything relating to Ice Spice, was introduced today in the brand new Fortnite update. And as you guys know, I have a history of hating on Ice Spice being a part of this season. A lot of you may have found my channel from my rant video that got a ton of viewership just a couple of weeks ago. And I haven't been a big fan of all of these artists being in Fortnite and taking over the most iconic Chapter 2 POI. As I wanted an OG version of Chapter 2, but unfortunately that is not what happened. And one of my favorite POIs in Chapter 2 Season 2 happened to be the shark, so you can imagine how upset I was when I found out that Ice Spice, out of all people, was taking over the shark and pretty much ruining it like I thought at the time. Now, I've played a couple of games landing at this brand new POI. Unfortunately, I know I said that I wouldn't land at them, but I had to for this video so that I can get an idea of what this POI actually looks like. And it made me wonder if Ice Isle actually did ruin the shark overall. Now, the shark was one of the most iconic POIs in Chapter 2. So many people dropped here. I think it was arguably better than the agency and the grotto at the time. It was the only POI that had Sky, the NPC, that held 2 mythics, and that still is the case in the Ice Isle, which I'm glad that they did not change overall. Now, still, a lot of people do land at this POI, but going a bit deeper into it, them turning it into a mall honestly gives me a lot of Mega Mall vibes overall, which I'm not necessarily too upset about. I do like it, but I feel like this POI definitely got revamped the most out of all of the POIs added, obviously besides for the agency, which is pretty much completely different on the outside. On the inside of the Ice Isle, it is literally completely different from the original shark. The theme really isn't the same at all, and there's stores inside of it, there's ice cream, there's pizza, and I'm really not the biggest fan of that aspect. I wish they would have revamped it just a little bit less and kept the same sort of vibes for the shark, which I do not think they did. Now, of course, guys, we have to mention the giant balloon sitting on the shark, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat this, man. That balloon is absolutely horrendous, and I absolutely hate it. Having Ice Spice balloons sitting on the shark not only feels like a little wrong and makes me a little bit uncomfortable, it feels like a little bit too like vulgar for Fortnite. You know what I mean? Like, everybody knows what Ice Spice is kind of known for. Like, everybody knows why she's popular. She's not necessarily just popular because of her music, and that is pretty obvious. So having her sitting on the shark in the way that she is just feels a little wrong to be put in Fortnite. Not to mention that it's on one of the most iconic POIs of Chapter 2. It just feels like disrespectful in general, in my opinion. And I feel like a lot of people feel that way for sure. And unfortunately, you cannot break the balloon. I tried it. You can't break the balloon, unfortunately. Now, the Ice Spice skin herself does look good, and the NPC looks good. Like, I like both of the skins coming out. However, I do not think that that is enough reason for her to be able to take over the shark. If anything, I feel like they should have just given her a separate POI and kept the shark the same, especially since Fortnite is touting these people as, you know, hip-hop icons. I really don't think that Ice Spice is on the level of Snoop Dogg and Eminem. A lot of people probably don't even know who Ice Spice is. I got a lot of comments on my videos asking who Ice Spice was, so I don't feel like this was the best person to choose for the shark and to take over one of these POIs at all. Now, let's get down to the nitty-gritty of the new mythics, and the couple minutes that I used them, I really did like them. I loved how they revamped both of these. Sky's Scar was one of the most overpowered weapons in the game ever when it came out, and I feel like they did kind of transfer this over a lot and making it even more powerful by giving you the jalapeno effect. I do really like how they kind of did the ice and spice sort of thing with the mythics. I think that is pretty cool. The grappler is nice, but honestly, the ice gets really annoying. I kind of wish that was just a regular grappler, but I see what they did. They had to make it different, and there was a really very obvious way to make this, you know, more touted towards Ice Spice. But overall, I didn't play very much with these mythics. I didn't have a lot of time to play with them, but I do like the Scar overall, and like I said, this is one of the only places in Fortnite that has 2 mythics when you kill the NPC, so it's still going to be a popular POI because that Scar is insane, and just having an infinite grappler in general, especially in zero build like I was playing, is going to be very highly sought after. They're very easy to use as well, and I do like that. So did this Ice Isle actually ruin the shark? In my opinion, I feel like the word ruined may be a little bit harsh, and I feel like it should be a little bit less than ruined. It kind of tainted the perception of the shark, in my opinion, but it did make it worse for sure. What I found that is a lot easier easier for me is if I look at it as a completely different POI instead of the shark like I wanted it to be. It's really not that bad. I mean, obviously it's weird to have an Ice Spice POI in Fortnite, but if you separate it from the fact of what it used to be with it being the shark and how much everyone loved that POI and how much I loved it, then it is not nearly as bad. But if you look at it for what the shark was in Chapter 2 Season 2 and what it meant for the game and how much it peaked during this time, it is definitely destroyed. It just depends on what your perception of this is and how you're going to look at it. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Do you think that the Ice Isle ruined the shark? Let me know. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel, use code Prozeroyt, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.